Good morning, character design class. Okay, so a few things on the docket. I have our agenda over here for the day. I'm gonna try to keep this really, really short. First things first. Funniest image uploads. I chose the one I thought was the funniest. Um, Jenny's. I'm a cashew. No, you will not. I had never seen this before. It like literally tickled my funny bone. It's so ridiculously dumb that I love every bit of it. So I might actually start making that the screensaver on all of our computers at school. I love it. Good job, Jenny. Love it. Um, Also, somebody uploaded this for another class, and I don't even know where to begin with this picture. I don't I don't know. You could stare at it for hours and not understand what it actually means. Anyway, okay, so teams. There seems to be still some confusion on how Teams works, because I get the review in the Reflect forum, and some people are writing in like, I understand what the objective is for the day, and or they're writing in everything's done, and I don't. I'm just going to make certain we're going to go through. I'm going to pretend to be one of you. I'm going to be a student, and I'm going to log into our class notebook. And when I first log in, I'm going to see this really good looking man, and I'm going to hit the video play, and I'm going to listen to what everything he has to say, because what he has to say is just pure gold 52% of the time. Once I've done listening to this and then got all of his words of wisdom, I'm going to go over to class notebook and open class notebook. And if you look here, as soon as you click it open, there is instructions here, okay? Now, I said the other day that one of the things you guys are going to have to do is read. I know a lot of you enjoy looking at just bolded words or kind of go for keywords. But if you were to read all of this, there would probably be no questions you would have or confusion. So I'm going to go through it really quickly, okay? But read it. Every day, when you open up our class notebook, you should go to Content Library, Learning Targets and Forms first, and then read the learning target for the day. Then you go to Content Library, Lesson Content, and then this is where all of the actual specifics for the day are going to be: instructions, videos, stuff like that. So this gives you, the learning targets gives you just a general overview of what it is we're doing, so you can get a sense. And then the lesson content's where all the nitty gritty stuff's at. Once you're done with the lesson, you go back to Content Library, Learning Targets and Forms, and then you open up the forms to fill out the question of the day. Okay? So let's do that real quick. I'm going to go right over here. Get out of here, Cruz. I'm going to go right over here. I'm going to go to Content Library. I'm going to go to Learning Targets. Weekly Learning Target. I haven't put today's up yet. I'm going to read through exactly what it is we're doing today. It's a general overview. I'm good. I go to Lesson Content. I then get all the instructions for how to achieve that thing for the day. So like all the instructions, maybe there's going to be videos on here, maybe some images, stuff like that. Once I've completed everything I'm supposed to do, I go back here. I go to the forms. And I'm not going to fill out this form with just like generic, I understood. You're going to scroll down below the form, and then every day there's a question that you have to answer. You do not need to send in, so like this one has several questions. I asked, a few different questions on this one. You do not need to write in and submit for each one of those questions. You can just write them all into one submission and hit submit. This is also how I'll be taking attendance. All right. So very, very, very important. Oh, and then also, and I hope that helps with class or how Teams works, but on the posts, every day that I upload a video, it would be really, really helpful, just in case you have issues with forms, to just reply, hey, how's it going? I'm here today, just let you know. Okay? So I hope that answers questions with Teams. If you noticed in Portal, grades are in. I told you I was going to be putting in grades. There was a lot of them. Right now, I'm not going to do any late grades, but you need to let me know that you've done things. So I'm going to use Cruz as an example here. Cruz forgot to reply to the 331 video, which was part of that content, or that lesson content for the day. Cruz just responded, oops, forgot to reply, I was present. I'll update the grade, okay? Thank you, Cruz. You're an amazing example. What you need to do when you're in Portal is not freak out and email me, why do I have zeros for the things? If you just look at the grade, I wrote down exactly why you got the grade you got, okay? Whether it is you didn't answer all the questions underneath the review and reflect form, there was 3 questions and you only answered 1, I'd probably have written, hey, you need to answer all of the questions, not just one of them, right? Or you didn't do a review and reflect form, so you got a 0 for that for the day. I'm going to beg of you, because I'm being like super cool and I'm not going to do late grades right now. That doesn't mean, oh, well, I can just turn it in whenever I want, because that means that I have to grade twice. I have to go in, look for your stuff. You didn't do it, give you a 0. You then email me back, or, do this with like Cruz did. And then I have to go back into Portal and then regrade. The more I have to do that, the sooner it is I'm going to start taking late grades. Because it's just, take it from a teacher's perspective. It's like you're making me do twice as much work, which is no funsies. So just do the things that day. And I'm trying to keep these lessons as simple as possible, okay? All right. I hope that's helpful. Yeah. Alternatives for Photoshop. If you could not get Photoshop, there are 2 suggestions that I have. If you can get GIMP, try to get GIMP. GIMP is like the less functional Photoshop. If you've used Photoshop and you feel comfortable in it, you're going to jump into GIMP and it'll be no problem. If you can't get GIMP, try Pixlr. And then that's the email address or the website right there to get it. And this is a cloud-based image editing software. It's fine. It's fine. GIMP's better. Photoshop's obviously the best, but that should get you through if you cannot get Photoshop. Okay. Today, you need to bring your photo into your image editing software. I'm just going to talk as if you have Photoshop, just because I saw from your reflection forms that the majority of you guys do have Photoshop, which is awesome. Okay. So here are the instructions, and we went over this right before we left for break. Okay. So none of this should be like brand new. Bring the photo into the editing software, create the grid lines on the paper, which means you're going to have to measure, and I saw how amazing you guys were with rulers. Divide the measurement by 4 horizontally, so you're going to measure out horizontally, and then divide by 4 on top and bottom, connect those lines. You're going to then measure the paper vertically, so up and down. You're going to divide by 5, drop your points on left and right side, connect those lines, okay? Do not, on your paper you're drawing on, make those lines really dark, okay? Remember, I went around like obnoxiously saying, too dark, too dark. Make them light, make them very light. Then you need to bring that photo into Photoshop. Do the exact same thing. Create the file the exact same size as your paper. So if you're using a copy paper that's 8.5 by 11, your Photoshop document must be 8.5 by 11, okay? You're going to do the exact same thing up here about measuring horizontally and vertically. To get the rulers in Photoshop, you need to go to View Rulers. Drag and drop the guidelines the same way, and then I want you guys to lightly sketch your drawing. Okay. Every square, go around and just lightly, don't add value, don't start shading in areas. Just draw out your face. And that pretty much gets us caught up to where we were when we left for break. Okay. All your pictures are taken, you're ready to start drawing, your picture is drawn on your paper, you're ready to the next time go in and start adding value square by square. Okay, I think that's it. If you have any questions about your grades, please do not post them on here. Do not go create a new thread and say, hey, Mr. Panetta, why did you give me that grade? You're a terrible human being. Don't do that. You send that to me in an email, minus the terrible human being part, okay? Also, keep in mind the difference between replying to this post and creating a brand new conversation. A couple people are still struggling on the 2 differences between this. If you want to comment on something in this video, you reply. You don't create a new conversation. Also, don't create a new conversation that's already been asked. So look back into old conversations that we've had. There's some pretty helpful ones in here, okay? Are we good? I think so. You guys have a great day. Email me with questions about grades. Let me know when you update stuff for Gradebook. And happy drawing.